What is up, everyone? So we took a little 2 week break, but we are back now. Mondays we're gonna have tip videos. Wednesdays are gonna be silent videos. Thursdays are gonna be massive videos, and Fridays are gonna be serum videos. Each day is gonna be a preset overview and download for you guys. So we're coming back swinging. We're gonna try to put out some high quality content and really give you guys some valuable knowledge to get your music stuff to the next level. So today, 5 Mixdown tips, part 2. We made that old video a long time ago, which, the tips are still relevant. But this is part 2. We're going to go into some more detailed stuff and just all these little stuff that are really going to spice up your mixdown and get you what you really want. So, number 1 is opposite EQing. And the quickest thing that I could think of is just say we dramatically saturated it and smashed it into a limiter, and we have the kick and snare landing on top of each other. What I mean by opposite EQing, so this is just kind of like a chain I had on it, so there's EQing going and I kind of already did it. So let's turn that off and see where the snare is really sitting, because it's going to be different every song. So you want to go into the kick, take that out. See? So I had it set up for the snare because it's a part of this little chain drum kit I have. So if you know you're going to be using certain samples, you could save it like that so you're ready to go. And you don't have to keep doing it every single time. But so you want to opposite EQ. So the snare is going to be there. You want to take it away from the kick so that way they play it. And then you can take out more if you want and whatnot. So, and then same with the highs. I wanted to roll off the kick and take it out because the snare is going to have some stuff up there, and I don't want the top of the kick to really fight with that. Give it to the snare. So that's opposite EQing. Obviously, you could do it with synths. Obviously, we're gonna show you in number 3, low cuts and stuff. But say like you're putting a synth on top of a bass sound, figure out where they're strong and where they're weak or whatnot, and then that way if you want to bring it out, you just take it away from the other sound and then boost it a little bit on the other sound, so you're not dramatically EQing things and then it just muddies everything. You're taking the other sound back. So sometimes if you just take the other sound back, all of a sudden it sounds good, but then if you still need some level, then you could boost your other song just a little bit, and it really creates a more punchier mix that way than smashing everything up. And really, when you do that, you're just gonna create mud and then you won't have any punch. So that is opposite EQing. Next we're gonna go into white noise. Obviously almost every single song has white noise in it, if whether it's plain white noise in it or if it's from all the sounds creating white noise from the reverbs and stuff, just atmospheric back noise. So anything like that, if you want to put it on top and kind of not have it take away from it, obviously you want to make it wide and spread it and stuff. But on the EQing wise of it, you obviously want to low cut it so it's not rumbling with your basses and stuff and creating unnecessary mud. So we could take that out obviously, and then if you want to really make sure nothing's down there. But then your synths and everything and your cymbals are going to be up, and you don't want it fighting with that. You want your cymbals to still shine on top and stuff. So around 10K, your cymbals are going to be landing. And now you could either do a low shelf or a bell out, bell cut, and just take it out. Whatever sounds good when you have everything lined up. This is just getting you started and letting you know, be aware of this. And then as well as your synths and just the vocals, if you have vocals, a lot of the high ends of the snares and stuff, cymbals too are still hitting right here. All your synths are going to want to be shining right here. So you want to take out some of the white noise right there. And that's the basics. Sometimes I really just cut it out and just have it playing the really high frequencies and then I put a bunch of reverb on it. So, and obviously when you put reverb on it, it's going to have it set back as well. So you just want to play with the settings, and the EQing is going to be different every song, but just you want your synths and cymbals and everything to play right here and not this, and as well as again right there for the cymbals and stuff, the vocals. And if you want to take out some of this for the bass because of the bass notes, then you could take some out. You really just want the white noise to fill in where everything's not, to make that full sounding effect and adding the energy to the song. You don't want these to be dominant at all. So that is Reno white noise EQing. Next is going to be cutting your sounds, and this is very, very, very crucial if you want your sub punching and your drum or your drop sounds punching through your bass sounds. So if I just play, it's just a normal serum sound, like basically stock. We'll put it down like 3 octaves. So it has sub in there, but you kind of want to separate them so it creates more punch. So you're gonna want to cut at least 100, and that way, if you go into the subs and play something low, have that space, and it's not, when you drop your basses on top in the sub, and all of a sudden, like when they play together, your basses disappear. That's because they're fighting for space. So you want to separate that. You want to give your sub some space and not have it fight with the rest of the drop sounds, and then your basses you cut so the sub could play down there and not fighting. And same with the kick. You want to give the kick some room, so maybe you go up a little higher because the kick's going to be hitting right there. So these are all, it's obviously EQing too. It's cutting sounds, and you got to take an effect of all these sounds. The more you have, the more detailed you got to be with your EQs because there's less room. So if you're going for that minimal vibe, the EQing could be very minimal. You start using just minor cuts and stuff because there's room for everything to do what it needs to do. It could just play out full. But then you start adding layers and stuff like that. Then you got to get more surgical, and then more layers, more surgical, so everything has its own place and fits together. Next is going to be compressing to get the sound out. So say this EQ is just how the sound sounds. Pretend this is not even here, okay? So that's just how the sound sounds. But you kind of want to bring out the highs because it's cut off. So it's there, but you want more of the highs. So what you're going to do is compress to get more of those faint frequencies up and out. So I'm going to just dramatically do it with the makeup on, pretty hard ratio, attack, we'll put it like 20. All right. Gives it more grit, more bite. Let me just throw a limiter on there so we get the same. So before you turn it on, you get a lot of that mids and lows, and then all of a sudden you turn it on. Now that high, the buzz is more leveled, and then the lows are kind of, with it, but more faintly, and you could hear that on top. So compressing, you want to use it to your advantage to bring up those frequencies you want to stand out some more, and then limit, just catch the peaks. But that was just to match out the levels for you guys on that. But the last tip is the fader technique. So you got to think, do you want a soft mix, like you don't want everything punchy and snappy and in your face. So if you want a more softer, rounder mix, you're going to go quieter and turn it up until it sounds good. You could hear it. It's doing what it needs to do. But if you want a punchier mix, you're going to want to turn it all the way up without blowing your speakers, Go drastically up, as far as it's really way too loud, you know. All right, so go up as high as you want, and then start turning it down until it sounds good and loud. And this way, when you do those techniques, when it's quieter, you're gonna go up, up, and you're gonna tend to have a quieter volume than you would going the other way, just because you're going from quieter and then you're gonna stop as soon as it sounds good. Rather, when you go from the loud down, you're just gonna turn it down until it's not as annoying as that loud, but it still sounds good. So you're gonna tend to have a couple dBs louder, you know. So just a little technique to play mind games and get you into the direction you want to go without really paying much detail. So punchier mix, go from louder and turn it down till it sounds good in the mix. Quieter, rounder mix, a softer mix. You're going to turn it down and then turn it up till it sounds good. And those are my tips for you guys. We're going to have more tip videos every single Monday. Like I said, we're coming back swinging now. We're going to get a lot of YouTube content. We're going to get a lot of on-demand courses and a bunch of stuff for you guys. So keep watching. Click that subscribe button and definitely click that thumbs up if you haven't done that already. That helps us out a lot and lets us know that you got some valuable information from this video. I'll see you guys on Wednesday where we do a silent preset.